Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Oh wow, I realized that I actually look quite dark without front-facing light. I'm gonna have to remedy that soon. Anyway, today it's midweek Magic. Let's move my mouse out of the way. It is Artisan. It's Alchemy Artisan to be more specific. So we're actually gonna go with one of our older standbys, but with an now updated because we're using the standard setup here. So it's Artisan spells. So let's start off with the payoffs. 4 copies of Electrostatic Infantry. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. G2 Amplifier. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, gets +2/+0. I'm opting for the combat direction over the deal damage direction. Oh, that said, if you want to go that route, Thermo Alchemy. There's also a Festival Crasher, but pretty much the main difference is Festival Crasher has 1 extra point of toughness. G2 Amplifier has the option to kick, which is kind of important in certain matchups. Which especially if against green, which will have a lot of high toughness to get through. That said, I did mention Thermo Alchemist. That is an alternate plan. It is also available, so that's something to consider. We have 3 copies of Balmor Battle Mage Captain. The +1/+0 and Trample is really why I went with this one. So even if we can get a ton of attack bonuses, having the Trample is what puts it over the top. And we also have 4 copies of Delver of Secrets because it's the OG for this setup. And we have 18. And we have about 18 instants and sorceries. So we can play around with that. We also have 3 copies of Battlewing Mystic. This one is to help refill our hand. I have a single copy of Reckless Impulse for that as well, but I guess it's because you really want to play this really late game. This one gives us something to do mid game when we still have cards. We have also a single copy of Ambergris Citadel Agent. Pretty much discard your hand, draw 2 cards, and this is an attack trigger, so we can drop this and not attack right away if we have to. If we specialize in as mono red, we get to deal damage equal to the number of cards we discard. Or if we specialize into blue, we just draw more cards, which also works well. As far as our removal, 2 copies of Play with Fire, 3 copies of Fading Hope. We have some bounce our bounce is not all limited to G2 Amplifier, but having an extra bounce helps. 4 copies of Lightning Strike, so Play with Fire, Lightning Strike can go up top. Fires of Victory, good very early if we're able to sandbag cards. So we really have to pay attention to the number of lands we play. We probably want to stop at 5 lands because that's G2 Amplifier plus Kicker, Fires of Victory plus Kicker. That's more than enough for Ambergris. So we pretty much want to limit at 5. If we know we have a Fires of Victory in hand, we can probably sandbag it. 4 copies of Mephit's Enthusiasm. This one deals 4 damage. And the extra boost is pretty great for our creatures. Finally, 2 copies of Shore Up for protection. Adjust as needed. Our land base, tributaries, Swiftwater Cliffs, Maestro's Theater because pretty much our only turn 1 plays Delver Secrets, but I don't want to overload on this as well. That's pretty much the deck. Let's see how it runs. I got through I validated the deck very early. Like I got my two wins early 2 wins really quickly. Let's see if the meta hasn't changed quite as much yet. I'm always afraid that by the time I'm doing the video, something has changed since. We're gonna keep this as is. The blue is really more of a splash, but we definitely want to still lead on. We still want to lead on it. Yeah, we don't have any double symbols, double red, double blue, whatnot, so we can just lead on a single blue just fine. Probably just drop Balmor, Battle Mage, Captain next turn. Ambergris is really just a one-off, so there's no rush into that. So next turn we can decide if we want to drop the Swiftwater Cliffs or see what our opponent's up to. Opponent not swinging. I would still probably just play G2 Amplifier. If our opponent swings, I'm most likely going to just take the damage. There is an argument for playing Battle Wing Mystic early as a 2-1, but not with Shambling Ghast out. And this just bounces a creature, so... Let's see what our opponent does. Deadly Dispute, it's pretty much solid. I think our opponent's just going to tech up. So we'll see if they're going for big creature or just big board wipe, though. What? Okay, looks like creature into... Okay, we'll take. This our okay, opponent's gonna let that go. So we're gonna bounce the Smelter. This one actually still stays around. Probably don't want the Delver now. Yeah, we're just gonna go for the quick tech hit. We probably goofed up on the sequence. We could have gotten 1 extra point of damage if we sequenced it correctly. Discard, draw 2 cards. No, we'll keep our hand right now. Yeah, we could have taken our opponent down to 9. One more land, we can bounce something, so our opponent can't just hang back anymore. And if we don't hit the land, we are probably... It's either a creature or a spell. This is an attack trigger, so I am tempted to just swing with this. With the exception of Mephit's Enthusiasm, everything else is in. Oh, opponent concedes. Looks like we dealt enough early damage. It does make sense. Bloodtide Harvester would not be live for a while. We probably would have been able to do something about it by then. So Kenzan Smelter, yeah, they would have given it up. I was willing. I demonstrated I was willing to take damage. Yeah, we got through. We got through that one really quickly. Also, I just got up from a bit of a long nap, so many apologies for the weird face I'm making. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a tired one. I'm more annoyed with the data errors that are coming through. Could be something wrong locally. I have no idea what's. It's not. It could be something wrong on probably something wrong on my computer's end here. I noticed a while ago in the morning with Viber that we had a bit of that issue as well. Speed test is registering fine, but in this case, this is not a speed test issue. This is definitely an issue of something else. Yeah, speed test is very fine. I have seen better well, still 20 Mbps going through 2 meshes. I've seen better numbers, but this one's okay. It's kind of within expectations. Okay, upload is on the slower side. Yeah, but there we got our win. Let's claim the prize. Hey, this is actually not bad for him. Well, it tempts me to get the other 5 and probably the other 4 in the future, but I'm okay with this one since I've gotten so many Vimaya coasts already. Now I just need a deck that actually works with them. Oh no, upload actually maxed out at 22, so it is within expectations. Something's just up with, I guess something's up with servers altogether. We're hopefully looking for a fix for it by then. This one, I'm gonna keep this, also, especially because our opponent took a mulligan. It's one of the disadvantages of running Delver. But we can go Mephit's Enthusiasm. I guess I could run Consider, but I would rather just run extra. Oh, Spirits. Okay. So most likely we run the Electrostatic Infantry first. Especially because we're running in multiples, there's a good chance this gets countered. I'm fine with it. Yeah, no, Fairy Vandal. So this is the draw a lot of counters plan. And draw a lot of cards plan. Opponent. Okay, we have to deal damage to this already. I'm expecting a counter spell. Can't really do much about that, but the plan right. Yep, there's a Spell Pierce. But we did cast a so we're just gonna have to go wide really fast. Probably should also be on the lookout for. Well, we have our bounce spells. That's also an alternate plan. Opponent is dunking a lot of resources into this combo. Talarian Terror. That's the alternate plan. Decline. We can still kill. We can kill this now safely. So, but we need form. But to max this out, we need to land the infantry first. Land the Mephit's Enthusiasm. Take this out already. So we actually have the blockers for this. There's a good chance our opponent just doesn't attack. In which case, Water Cliffs, Battlefield Mystic. Network Disruptor, tap target permanent. Most likely taps this one. If they swing, I'm fine. I should do a count, because they might be... Okay. No, we don't hit, so that's another decline. Again, we need to start sandbagging mana. Though, in this case, sandbagging doesn't really do much, because we will end up discarding this. I think our opponent counters this. No, that's it true. Reckless Impulse, play with fire. I guess we play with fire. Even if it gets countered, we still get to punch. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. We go down to 9 if we take the hit. Yeah, we'll take the hit. Opponent has another Fairy Vandal just to eat this. Okay, that's fine. I should have anticipated that. That was a bit my fault. Does our opponent have another Combat Research? No, Impulse. But this is not actual card draw. It's more... It is better for setting up Delver Secrets. So yeah, it doesn't trigger this one because that's not card draw. So we're taking 5. That will trigger card draw. I guess it makes sense to put it there. So opponent has 1 card in hand. Kind of wish I did not draw that land. Though the Reckless Impulse here does help. Well, we'll see. Depending on the 2 cards, we might want to draw that land. Opponent bins a Delver. Is it a counter spell? No, they're letting it go. It's probably not a counter spell. Hold on. Let's do a double check. You may play those cards. So I can play this one safely. Opponent does have demonstrated Spell Pierce. They might have another... I think they also demonstrated Geistlight's Snare. If they have that latter, I can't do anything about it, but I have to prepare for the former. And worst case scenario, it could also be a bounce spell for one of the infantry. No, it's just consider. But if it's just consider, we kind of set ourselves up. And that's fine because we can now swing with everything. Opponent would need to have a fading hope, or else, yeah, their hope faded right there. So that was a very close. That was a very close battle. Could have been better, but yeah. But we played around. We tried to play around as much of the stuff that we can. So we kind of gave up the 1 life from Swiftwater Cliffs, but that was fine. There is an argument for probably having more fires if we're going to see more creatures like the Talarian Terror, but in the end, it needs more support in order to get through. I do like that mono blue list though, to be honest. That was that one. If you don't want to go to the red route, the mono blue list is pretty solid. It does depend on the combo Delver of Secrets, Fairy Vandal for your mid game. A lot of the spells are just card draw, so that's where it feels bad. Speaking of feel bad, I'll try keeping this, but this is admittedly a very slow hand. I would not be surprised if I lost with this. One untapped source would be great. Shambling Gas looks like that's the popular one. Well, if it does get taken down, at least we have a spare. Mono Black also another popular one. Okay, it does get taken down. So here comes the spare. We don't have the other creatures that benefit. It's literally just the Balmor Battle Captain. So opponent might swing just to... Oh, we're not gonna take. Another Shambling Gas. So that's how our opponent wants to do it, eh? Yeah, I also have to be very careful playing Delver of Secrets now. Well, that's actually not a bad idea. We'll play out some of our other creatures. We're kind of demonstrating that we're willing to take this. I suspect our opponent's going to want to sacrifice. Morbid Opportunist. Nope. They're gonna hold back instead, but we do get to reveal. So that's nice. So we have a plan now. And opponent concedes actually. Between the Fading Hope and some of our other burn spells, we were actually going to just we're actually going to just remove all of this stuff. We probably would end up letting them draw a card. Actually no, the plan would have been Enthusiasm on Opportunist, bounce a Shambling Gas, swing. They can chump block this, but they would take a lot of damage. There you go. Looking quite solid. I'm starting to like this one a bit, and we're only 18 minutes in. It's 18 minutes and 3 wins. I did mention the mono green matchup. I actually haven't mentioned any white life gain matchups. We haven't run into those yet. Those are still plausible. It might be harder to run into that matchup if we keep getting error connections like this. Thank goodness it doesn't happen in the middle of a game. But still, what's up, Arena? I already actually complained a little bit about this in an earlier stream, having to. Though thankfully it did not happen in between every game. It only happened right after the draft, and the draft was still fine. I'm already wondering what's up with this one. Actually, that's a question I want to ask. Are you guys experiencing this, or is it just me? Because if it's just me, it's something I have to really look into it seriously. Actually, that is a very good question now that you mentioned that. Now that I mentioned it myself, I'm going to do a quick look at. I'm going to take a look at my network. See, I'm basically doing a double check on my mesh, see where they're connected. This is one of the side effects of running a mesh system instead of hardwiring your house. I did not opt to hardwire the house because I had I did not have a really good idea where things were gonna go. So that one can say that is an oversight on my end. Also, if it's taking this long, I'm really concerned here. We're gonna try to do one more match, but if it's waiting for server this long, it's not looking very good. I'm gonna try to take a look. Okay. No, the signal source is correct. It's still on the weaker end. I might have to reset the one of the mesh routers upstairs. I actually am concerned about. Yes, this is another thing that happens. It's really it's a black screen. You don't get anything. So I do have to close this one and start over again. So now I need to check the other signal source. That one is getting a strong enough signal. You know what? I'm gonna try a little bit something. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, not sure if that worked yet or not. It's hard to tell. We'll see if there's an improvement on this. Basically, what I just did was open the door. And now you guys may be thinking, it's opening the door is well. Actually, it's a little bit of a story about the construction of the house I'm living in now. Here in the Philippines, middle class houses and above, because we are in typhoon season. Because we have typhoon seasons, we have earthquake issues, etc. All our houses are pretty much constructed with lots and lots of concrete. And unlike houses in North America where you can get away with drywall and whatnot. Okay, so we know we have about 19 spells. So when we having 16 of them in our hand. If our opponent tries to burn the Delver's Secrets, I probably will let it go. If our opponent plays something, I will bounce it, try to set up the scry. Oh yeah, werewolves is a popular one. So we're going to try to delay them for as long as possible. Balmor is fine, but we're going to see if we can... If not a spell, hit another land. Like, hit another land is a good option. We generally want at least 3 or 4 lands here. Also, if our opponent tries to say burn the amplifier, I could bounce it. Tenacious Pup. Well, can't do anything about that. And I don't want to bounce the pup. I will bounce the Naturalist again because it uses up Tenacious P. There's an argument for doing, but now I probably don't want to do it during. Okay, let's see. Nope, decline. Kind of wish I can bin that altogether. Since I now know my plan is bounce this. another amplifier. At least we're making use of all the scries. Also, our play with fire has a lot of scries as well. So we're going to just swing with amplifier. This is probably the one case where we are in danger of losing. I could run the other Delver. Yeah, let's run the other Delver. Because of the matchup we're in, there's a good chance our opponent's gonna drop an over-the-top creature. I've seen some of the bigger werewolves land, and lightning strike's not gonna be enough to kill it. So far, opponents just been trying to stick this naturalist for the longest time. Let's see if we hit. Nope, decline and decline, but we get ourselves another land. At least it's closer enough to G2 amplifier. Probably snipe the naturalist first and then swing. Our opponent might have a pump spell. I would be, again, in this scenario, I'm glad to lose it. If our opponent uses pump spell on defense rather than an offense. Not looking very good for us unless we can get the magic flip. We still have about 16 instants and sorceries here, but that's like a 33% chance without scry. So not exactly looking very good for us. That said, another land is not unwelcome here. It sets up G2. It sets up our G2 amplifier. I think we just take. We have the. Wow, but I did say we could use it. This is where, but at least here we have. The kicker is actually quite useful. Well, unfortunately, the attack is not useful, so I'm gonna not attack. But at least we were able to get... So, let's see, 48, 16, 16, 32, 48. Yeah, we're... Opponent did... because of Kesignet... Oh, big spender in this case. Whenever one or more creatures you create a treasure token... I could just take the 2 damage. Yeah, we'll just take the 2 damage. Because if we give them a treasure token, it lands the naturalist. We might as well deny it. Okay, triggers go up. Now we reveal. And Reckless Impulse is a good card. Is a good one as well. The land's not so much. The lightning impulse on the lightning strike, on the other hand, is. Now, unfortunately, it's kind of wasted on the 2 tenacious piece. Yeah, we were gonna lose it. Might as well use it. That's our big blowout moment. Unfortunately, it's the rest of our moment is going to be relying on these insectile. Oh, opponent's actually gonna just trade for 1. I'm okay with. I don't dislike it at all. I'm okay with it. In fact, it sets it up so our opponent has to kill both aberrations now. So I'm keeping an eye out. Well, they might have an anti-flyer tech. Oh, they also have an ambergris. I'm surprised they didn't swing with. Oh, but what are they trying to hit? They already had the lightning strike. So we played the odds there. We knew that flipping Delver is a long shot. So we played the games to. We played it to, how do you say this? So that we could get to the point where it would actually matter. It would be nice if we could get it a lot earlier, but hey, we got it to work. I had a feeling the way our opponent blocked was kind of giving up already. The opponent knew we were empty-handed at that point. The lightning strike came off a Reckless Impulse. They even had a lightning strike of their own in the hand. So what would have happened is they chump block with the 2 tenacious piece. I would be left with 2 1/2s at the end. they can lightning strike one of my insectile aberrations. They would have, and they would not be down to 3. They would be down to 8. That's still more turns, and they still have an ambergris. They presumably have a lot more cards than I did at that point. So this will be the last game for this episode. Yeah, we're gonna hit that one. So we probably go Amplifier, Enthusiasm. If our opponent's on the slower side, we probably do double Amplifier. Our opponent's there is also an argument for Enthusiasm right away, which is a real feel bad, but that depends what our opponent's follow-up is. Virtuoso. We're gonna take a look what our opponent's pump spells are. This is admittedly very greedy. A slip out the back would be really bad for us. Though what we can do is sorcery the Mifid's Enthusiasm. If our opponent has a response, we can Fading Hope. Force them to. They did not use any spells now. Okay, now they're using. Yeah, sure. Take up the shield, so that leaves them. So we're taking 6. Not too bad. Still within range, and we do. So now let's see what our opponent's other creatures are. I think there are enough spells that yeah, playing cards like Twin Blade Invocation are a mistake. I suspect this was our opponent's only other creature. They discarded it, which makes absolutely no sense. As an enchant creature, all it does is give double strike. Yeah, they got really greedy. They did not hit the second creature. We would have Fading Hope, but no Amplifier. But we would be able to use Amplifier to bounce if ever. Yeah, opponent got really greedy there. We did get greedy at one game, to be honest. So sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't pay off. It's a game. Try to enjoy the best of it. And that's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. And have fun. It's just a game. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care.